Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you're doing well. Today's video is about spiritual dimensions of anxieties, but there's so much more to it, as you could also probably appreciate. For those who don't know me, my name is Aisha. I represent AJS Therapy, a place where I help Muslims to discover their wings, but I also authored two books, Islamically inspired self-development and spiritual resilience. And today I want to give you an insight, a sneak peek into guiding, yeah, there you go, Guiding Hearts online CPD course for those of you who are therapists, Muslim therapists, inspiring Islamic therapists, working with Muslim souls and experiencing something beyond what mainstream training can deliver and prepare you for and explain you and help you to position yourself. And on one of those sessions, on Guiding Hearts, we're going to talk about anxieties, such an important subject. And I'm not going to give you introduction to what it is, what we do with it, and how to work with it from Orthodox point of view. No, um, I want to share with you my reflections. And I've started this journey 15 years ago with one question. And mind you, 15 years ago, the mental health was still taboo in Islamic scholarship, between Islamic spokesmen and spokeswomen. So I started with the question, and the question in my head, and I'm sure you also have this question in your head. How come all our scholars they say any mental health disease it's a result of weak man? It didn't sit well with me, you know. Even before I had the knowledge, even before I had the tools, even before I sat down with my first clients and start helping them, it didn't sit well. Something wasn't right. Something wasn't enough about this. And yeah, I now understand we have to go back to Tawheed. I completely agree with it. I understand we have to practice tawakkul, reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will, permission, and knowledge about whatever is it that you're going through. I understand we have to humbly adjust to our qadr and learn from all those experiences. But what I didn't understood is how can our scholars can call us weak in faith if those feelings of panic, of fear, of hopelessness, of not knowing where to go, who to ask for a help, they were so real to me and they were so real to my clients. So I decided to focus on Quran, on Sunnah, and mental health altogether. And that sort of, gave me a good insight into what Muslim souls need, um, and also what are the prescriptions to help you with your afia wellness in our spiritual scholarship in Islam, and that includes istighfar, seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, purification of your heart. But for most, other than tawakkul, right? Other than shukur and hamd, something that I've always, especially as a new Muslim, found on the tongue of a Muslim as in nasiha, as an advice coming to me. But me specifically, I think the breaking point, the turning point for me in contemplating on anxieties, fears, helplessness, leaden feelings, which can totally terrorize your mind, soul, and heart, was the idea of tafakkur. Tafakkur is contemplation. And that contemplation has so many shades as it's turned out in Islamic psychology. And it had such a great implication in my practical practice until today. So tafakkur is contemplation. It could be tadabbur on Quran. It could be muraqaba, meaning on your processes, emotional, spiritual processes, muhasaba, taking yourself into accountability, like sitting down with you in truth, in authenticity, in congruence, and asking yourself, have I caused this? And those things, they really helped me and my clients to escape a prison of am I being punished or I'm not being punished. This was that we have in our head. And scholars, they are until today, they still divided whether we are being punished in this dunya or we're just being tested. And I'm not going to go there because I'm not that clever. But also I think if we have many shades of grey in our Sharia, then there is a platform, there is a space for deeper contemplation, not only research. And that tafakkur led me to think it doesn't matter if you're punished or whether it's the fact that you're being tested, because we're all going to be subjected to those in this dunya. And in akhirah, what matters is what you do with it. And if you can't deal with it, whatever it is that you're facing, because of those strong emotions like anxieties, there must be hack in it. There must be truth in it that you're escaping to connect with. There's something you don't see, something you holding on to, something in a form of maybe self-denial that is holding you back from coming on the other side. I'm speaking completely spiritual language now. All right. So anything about grounding yourself, anything around, I don't know, breathing, exercising, relaxation, cognitive work on it, it still applies. But today, for the purpose of this short video, I want to give you an insight into Islamic psychology. Is going to help you in approaching anxieties from different perspective. Something that we are going to in-depth discuss on based on case studies in Guiding Hearts course. You're all very much invited to join. But at the same time, this thing which I'm going to say, this contemplation that I went through, I want to share it with you today. And please give me thumbs up, discuss it with me if that makes any sense. Share with me your thoughts, because this was a turning point for me. So I sat down with myself and I thought about punishment from God. And God was punishing through his prophets, through his last breath, last take on their communities, through prophets, du'as. He was punishing nations for disobedience to Tawheed. And this disobedience in Tawheed was leading them to diseases of the heart and sins of body and mind and tongue. But the punishment was very much physical. Yeah. So we have the people of the Nuh alayhi salam, a great flood. The flood took over this part of the earth, and including some of the members of Nuh family. And then we had Prophet Nuh and the tribe of Ad. The people of Ad were punished by devastating windstorm. They all died. And then we have Salih, again, very much physical punishment, tender and earthquake, severe physical punishment. And then we had the Sodom and the Prophet Lut, who were punished by rain of stones. Yeah, can you imagine? Rain of stones. And if that's not enough, then we also had Shuaib, the people of Madian, and they also had been punished with something physical, heat wave, followed by thunderous sounds. So that it was the very much physical um, causation of their devastation. But before that, they let themselves detach from Tawheed and follow a different path. Although the signs in case of Musa alayhi salam and guidance in the form of adab, akhlaq, and legacy of prophets was in front of their eyes. Musa, subhanallah, drawing, in the Red Sea as a final one, very much physical things. Followed their disobedience and them letting themselves into growing their hearts into stone on a massive scale. Then I came across tafsir of Surah Al-Hashr, and subhanallah, Surah 59, between verse 2 and 5. What we are being introduced is to an idea of people. It was a Jewish tribe in Medina of people who actually were punished by their own feelings. They were living in the fortress. They thought they are unpenetrable. They thought they untouchable. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them evacuate their homes, even destroy their homes with their own hand because of the feeling that He installed in their chest, and that was anxiety. That is very powerful. So that in other words, they had everything going for them. They had community, they had power, they had strength, they were safe and secure. And the Prophet ﷺ, in front of this of their fortress, he was just standing there with his army, getting rid of the fortress and getting rid of the trees which were disabling them to get into the town. Within 3 to 10 days, they all left. They all left because of the angels whispering to them and ideas of fear and ideas of losing their wealth and ideas of losing their health, their life. And that led me to think, maybe that's why in like 20, 15 years ago era, our scholars were making this connection, tawheed and mental health, on the spectrum of you being strong mentally. If you're not connected to tawheed, you're going to be disconnected mentally. Maybe that's why it was such a clear cut. So me doing this tadabbur of Quran and those beautiful stories, biographies of the prophets, and they indirect language with us contemplating our mental and spiritual health, I understood that anxiety is actually spiritual experience as well. It is a point for you to stop and do what? Tafakkur. Tafakkur. You don't have to do tadabbur. I've done tadabbur for you. You can take it further. You can develop that idea of tadabbur, but now going to muraqabah, going to muhasabah, and start asking yourself question, where did I spiritually went wrong? What is that anxiety really telling me about the state of my soul? And this is how I work with my clients, right? We're covering all the bases of their being, because there's so many particles of us, and this in itself, if it's untouched, if it's unquestioned, unnourished, it just feels like there's not enough, if you're a spiritual person, if you're a religious person, if you're a person of that, it just feels like it's not enough in the therapy. If you haven't committed yourself to this in-depth tafakkur. So this is what I'm going to leave you with, this approach to working with anxieties from Islamic psychology perspective. You can read more about it from my Islamically inspired self-development book, or join this course, right? There you go, Guiding Hearts, and get this book for free and get to know me and sit down with those case studies and ask me any questions, but also share your experiences, because we're going to learn from this in the circle of practitioners from each other. And with that being said, until next one, Assalamu alaikum.